देवान् भावयतानेन
देवान् भावयतानेन
ते देवा भावयन्तु वः।
ते देवा भावयन्तु वः।
परस्परं भावयन्तः
परस्परं भावयन्तः
श्रेयः परमवाप्स्यथ।
श्रेयः परम् अवाप्स्यथ।
देवान् भावयतानेन ते देवा भावयन्तु वः।
देवान् भावयतानेन ते देवा भावयन्तु वः।
परस्परं भावयन्तः श्रेयः परमवाप्स्यथ।
परस्परं भावयन्तः श्रेयः परम् अवाप्स्यत।
देवान् भावयतानेन ते देवा भावयन्तु वः। परस्परं भावयन्तः श्रेयः परमवाप्स्यथ।
देवान् भावयन्तानेन ते देवा भावयन्तु वः। परस्परं भावयन्तः श्रेयः परम् अवाप्स्यथ।
इष्टान् भोगान् हि वो देवाः
इष्टान् भोगान् हि वो देवाः
दास्यन्ते यज्ञभाविताः।
दास्यन्ते यज्ञभाविताः
दास्यन्ते दास्यन्ते यज्ञभाविताः।
दास्यन्ते यज्ञभाविताः
तैर्दत्तानप्रदायैभ्यः
तैर्दत्तान् अप्रदायैभ्यो यज्ञः sorry
आ, तैर्दत्तानप्रदायैभ्यः
तैर्दत्तान् अप्रदायैभ्यः
यो भुङ्क्तेस्तेन एव सः।
यो भुक्तेस्तेन एव सः।
इष्टान् भोगान् हि वो देवाः दास्यन्ते यज्ञभाविताः।
इष्टान् भोगान् हि वो देवाः दास्यन्ते यज्ञभाविताः।
So it's a dasyante, not dasya. Hmm?
दास्यन्ते ओके।
तैर्दत्तानप्रदायैभ्यः यो भुङ्क्तेस्तेन एव सः।
तैर्दत्तान् अप्रदायैभ्यो यैभ्यः यो भुक्तेस्तेन एव सः।
इष्टान् भोगान् हि वो देवाः दास्यन्ते यज्ञभाविताः। तैर्दत्तानप्रदायैभ्यः यो भुङ्क्तेस्तेन एव सः।
इष्टान् भोगान् हि वो देवाः दास्यन्ते यज्ञभाविताः। तैर्दत्तान् अप्रदायैभ्यः यो भुङ्क्तेस्तेन एव सः।
यज्ञशिष्टाशिनः सन्तः
यज्ञशिष्टाशिनः सन्तः
मुच्यन्ते सर्वकिल्बिषैः।
मुच्यन्ते सर्वकिल्बिषैः।
भुञ्जते ते त्वघं पापाः।
भुञ्जते त्वघं पापाः।
भुञ्जते ते त्वघं पापाः।
भुञ्जते ते त्वघं पापाः।
ये पचन्त्यात्मकारणात्।
ये पञ्चात्यात्मकारणात्।
ये पचन्ति आत्मकारणात्। ये पचन्त्यात्मकारणात्।
ये पचन्त्यात्मकारणात्।
यज्ञशिष्टाशिनः सन्तः मुच्यन्ते सर्वकिल्बिषैः।
शिष्टाशिनः क्षन्तः मुच्यन्ते सर्वकिल्बिषैः।
भुञ्जते ते त्वघं पापाः ये पचन्त्यात्मकारणात्।
भुञ्जते ते त्वघं पापाः ये पचन्त्यात्मकारणात्।
I can notice that you are possibly following the English
Yeah,
translation.
yeah, I am actually. I mean, I can do with the Devanagari, but I think I'll make more mistakes.
Ah, okay. All right. Whatever is comfortable. Yeah. यज्ञशिष्टाशिनः सन्तः मुच्यन्ते सर्वकिल्बिषैः भुञ्जते ते त्वघं पापाः ये पचन्त्यात्मकारणात्
यज्ञशिष्टाशिनः सन्तः मुच्यन्ते सर्वकिल्बिषैः भुञ्जते ते त्वघं पापाः ये पचन्त्यात्मकारणात्
अन्नाद्भवन्ति भूतानि
अन्नाद्भवन्ति भूतानि
पर्जन्यातन्नसम्भवः
पर्जन्याद् अन्नसम्भवः
यज्ञाद्भवति पर्जन्यः
यज्ञाद्भवति पर्जन्यः
यज्ञः कर्मसमुद्भवः
यज्ञः कर्म समुद्भवः
अन्नाद्भवन्ति भूतानि पर्जन्यादन्नसम्भवः
अन्नाद्भवन्ति भूतानि पर्जन्याद् अन्नसम्भवः
यज्ञाद्भवति पर्जन्यः यज्ञः कर्मसमुद्भवः
यज्ञाद्भवति पर्जन्यः यज्ञः कर्म समुद्भवः
अन्नाद्भवन्ति भूतानि पर्जन्यादन्नसम्भवः यज्ञाद्भवति पर्जन्यः यज्ञः कर्मसमुद्भवः
अन्नाद्भवन्ति भूतानि पर्जन्याद् अन्नसम्भवः यज्ञाद्भवति पर्जन्यः यज्ञः कर्म समुद्भवः
कर्म ब्रह्मोद्भवं विद्धि
कर्म ब्रह्मोद्भवं विद्धि
ब्रह्माक्षरसमुद्भवम्
ब्रह्माक्षरसमुद्भवम्
तस्मात् सर्वगतं ब्रह्म
तस्मात् सर्वगतं ब्रह्म
नित्यं यज्ञे प्रतिष्ठितम्
नित्यं यज्ञे प्रतिष्ठितम्
कर्म ब्रह्मोद्भवं विद्धि ब्रह्माक्षरसमुद्भवम्
कर्म ब्रह्मोद्भवं विद्धि ब्रह्माक्षरसमुद्भवम्
तस्मात् सर्वगतं ब्रह्म नित्यं यज्ञे प्रतिष्ठितम्
तस्मात् सर्वगतं ब्रह्म नित्यं यज्ञे प्रतिष्ठितम्
कर्म ब्रह्मोद्भवं विद्धि ब्रह्माक्षरसमुद्भवम् तस्मात् सर्वगतं ब्रह्म नित्यं यज्ञे प्रतिष्ठितम्
कर्म ब्रह्मोद्भवं विद्धि ब्रह्माक्षरसमुद्भवं तस्मात् सर्वगतं ब्रह्म नित्यं यज्ञे प्रतिष्ठितम्
एवं प्रवर्तितं चक्रम्
एवं प्रवर्तितं चक्रम्
नानुवर्तयति हयः
नानुवर्तयति हयः
अघायुरिन्द्रियारामः
अघायुरिन्द्रियारामः
मोघं पार्थ स जीवति
मोघं पार्थ स जीवति
एवं प्रवर्तितं चक्रं नानुवर्तयति हयः
एवं प्रवर्तितं चक्रं नानुवर्तयति हयः
अघायुरिन्द्रियारामः मोघं पार्थ स जीवति
अघायुरिन्द्रियारामः मोघं पार्थ स जीवति
एवं प्रवर्तितं चक्रं नानुवर्तयति हयः अघायुरिन्द्रियारामः मोघं पार्थ स जीवति
एवं प्रवर्तितं चक्रं नानुवर्तयति हयः अघायुरिन्द्रियारामः मोघं पार्थ स जीवति
यस्त्वात्मरतिरेव स्यात्
यस्त्वात्मरतिरतिरेव स्याद्
आत्मतृप्तश्च मानवः
आत्मतृप्तश्च मानवः
आत्मन्येव च सन्तुष्टः
आत्मन एव च सन्तुष्टः
आत्मन्येव च सन्तुष्टः
आत्मन्येव च सन्तुष्टः
तस्य कार्यं न विद्यते
तस्य कार्यं न विद्यते
यस्त्वात्मरतिरेव स्यात् आत्मतृप्तश्च मानवः
यत्त्वात्मरतिरेव स्याद् आत्मतृप्तश्च मानवः
आत्मन्येव च सन्तुष्टः तस्य कार्यं न विद्यते
आत्मन्येव च सन्तुष्टः तस्य कार्यं न विद्यते
यस्त्वात्मरतिरेव स्यात् आत्मतृप्तश्च मानवः आत्मन्येव च सन्तुष्टः तस्य कार्यं न विद्यते
यस्त्वात्मरतिरेव एव स्याद् आत्मतृप्तश्च मानवः आत्मन्येव च सन्तुष्टः तस्य कार्यं न विद्यते
नैव तस्य कृतेनार्थः
नैव तस्य कृतेनार्थः
नाकृतेनेह कश्चन
न कृतेनेह कश्चन
न चास्य सर्वभूतेषु
न चास्य सर्वभूतेषु
कश्चिदर्थव्यपाश्रयः
कश्चिदर्थव्याप् कश्चिदर्थव्याप्
व्यपाश्रयः
कश्चिदर्थव्यपाश्रयः कश्चिदर्थव्यपाश्रयः
कश्चिदर्थव्यपाश्रयः
कश्चिदर्थव्यपाश्रयः
नैव तस्य कृतेनार्थः नाकृतेनेह कश्चन
नैव तस्य कृतेनार्थो कृतेनार्थः न क्रतिनेह कश्चन
Yeah, even if you say कृतेनार्थो, it's okay.
yeah it's
नैव
written
तस्य
yeah
Yeah, maybe we'll do it that way in future.
yeah
नैव तस्य कृतेनार्थो नाकृतेनेह कश्चन
नैव तस्य कृतेनार्थो न कृतेनेह कश्चन
न चास्य सर्वभूतेषु कश्चिदर्थव्यपाश्रयः
न चास्य सर्वभूतेषु कश्चिदर्थ व्या व्यपाश्रयः
व्यपाश्रयः व्यापारा नास्ति व्यपाश्रयः
व्यपाश्रयः कश्चिदर्थ
नैव
व्यपाश्रयः
नैव तस्य कृतेनार्थो नाकृतेनेह कश्चन न चास्य सर्वभूतेषु कश्चिदर्थव्यपाश्रयः
नैव तस्य कृतेनार्थो न कृतेनेह कश्चन न चास्य सर्वभूतेषु व्यपाश्रयः
तस्मादसक्तः सततम्
तस्माद् असक्तः सततम्
कार्यं कर्म समाचर
कार्यं कर्म समाचर
असक्तो ह्याचरन् कर्म
अशक्तो ह्याचरन् कर्म
परमाप्नोति पूरुषः
परमाप्नोति पूरुषः
तस्मादसक्तः सततं कार्यं कर्म समाचर
तस्माद् असक्तः सततं कार्यं कर्म समाचर
असक्तो ह्याचरन् कर्म परमाप्नोति पूरुषः
अशक्तो ह्याचरन् कर्म परमाप्नोति पूरुषः
तस्मादसक्तः सततं कार्यं कर्म समाचर असक्तो ह्याचरन् कर्म परमाप्नोति पूरुषः
तस्माद् असक्तः सततं कार्यं कर्म समाचर असक्तो ह्याचरन् कर्म परमाप्नोति पूरुषः
कर्मणैव हि संसिद्धिम्
कर्मणैव हि संसिद्धिम्
आस्थिता जनकादयः
आस्थितः जनकादयः
लोकसङ्ग्रहमेवापि
लोकसङ्ग्रहमेवापि
सम्पश्यन् कर्तुमर्हसि
सम्पश्यन् कर्तुमर्हसि
कर्मणैव हि संसिद्धिम् आस्थिता जनकादयः
कर्मणैव हि संसिद्धिम् आस्थिता जनकादयः
Lokasangrahamevapi sampashyan kartumarhasi.
Lokasangraham evapi sampashyan kartumarhasi.
कर्मणैव हि संसिद्धिम् आस्थिता जनकादयः लोकसङ्ग्रहमेवापि सम्पश्यन् कर्तुमर्हसि.
Karmaneva hi sansiddhim asthita janakadayah loka sangraham evapi sampashyan kartumarhasi.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much. So we will begin our explanation part of our class today. So last week we have started the Tritiya Adhyaya, third Adhyaya, which is the Karma Yoga. And Karma Yoga starts with Arjuna asking Jayasi Chet Karmanaste Mata Buddhir Janardana Tatkim Karmani Ghore Mam Niyojayasi Keshava. So Arjuna was paying enough attention to what Sri Krishna had taught him. Obviously, he wants more clarity. So therefore, he started off saying that, look, you have actually taught me two important, let's say, ways to look at, understand the current situation I am in. One of them, which you believe is better than the other, is the knowledge, reaching divinity through knowledge or understanding the problems through knowledge. And you say that is actually better compared to conducting one's own action. So if that is the case, why are you making me do this dastardly act of waging a war, so that he finds unfair? So this is how he understood the second adhyaya. In the second adhyaya, obviously, Sri Krishna had taught in detail, to begin with, the whole concept of Atman, the soul, and the mechanics of it. And then he also spoke about the Kshatriya Dharma, Swadharma, how he needs to conduct himself as a warrior. And then he also spoke about Nishkama Karma, the selfless duty that he needs to take about. And he also spoke about, taught Sthita Prajnata, about equipoise that one will achieve with steadfast approach towards a problem, and that one can achieve by particularly practicing the Nishkama Karma. So from all that, Arjuna understood that perhaps Krishna meant that jnana, the knowledge part, is much superior to the action or karma yoga. And he says, Vyamishreneva vakyena buddhim mohayasiva me tadekam vadanishchitya yena shreyaha aham apnuyam. See, all this that you have taught me so far is very confusing, and I want you to make it simple for me, so that, and you decide, you tell me which of these two is actually favorable for me. And Sri Krishna responds saying, Lokesmin dvividhanishta pura prokta mayanagha jnana yogena sankhyanam karma yogena yoginam. Look, Arjuna, there have been two paths that I have already spoken of in the past, ancient times. And one I have taught to those who are aspirants of knowledge, and that is Jnana Yoga, or to the Sankhyans. And to those who were more aspiring towards conducting selfless duties, to them I have taught Karma Yoga. And then he says, Na karmana manarambhat naishkarmyam purushoshnute nacha sanyasanadeva siddhim samadhigacchati. Just by, okay, so now because I have taught somebody knowledge of what is an Atman, and how does the body function. The body has various tools. The body has a mind, intellect, then the 10 sense organs, 5 intellect related organs or the organs of perception, and 5 organs of action. So all these are there to be utilized as tools. And in the process, I have basically also taught that you need to gain good control of them and only use them for the kind of actions that are worthy of being conducted for your own betterment and for your spiritual growth. So I've said that. So just because I've said that, it doesn't mean that you decide, oh, if that is the case, it's better not to do anything, right? It is better not to conduct anything at all, because conducting actions is the reason why I'm accumulating papa and whatnot. So therefore, I will not conduct anything. So if somebody says that way, na karmana manarambhat, no, so nacha sanyasanadeva siddhim samadhigacchati. So the particular part I've explained just now is in relation to the second line. Just by stopping yourself engaging with the world outside, that is sannyasa. Just by stopping yourself engaging, you can't expect yourself to attain salvation or moksha or liberation. I must say, not salvation, liberation. Similarly, na karmanam anarambhat naishkarmyam purushoshnite. Nishkama karma is naishkarmyam, or the selfless duty, or the duty where you're not attaching yourself to the results. Now you understood that every action has a result, and every action has a doer or somebody who actually initiates it. How do you initiate it? You plan it, you have a desire, and so on. So you need to actually conduct yourself as if you are not the one who is the initiator of the action. And you also need to conduct yourself in a way that you don't attach yourself to the result or the fruit of the action, is what nishkama karma is. So that I have taught, and just because I've taught it, you decide saying, oh, if that is the case, better not to do any action at all, because if I do an action, then I'll have to worry about the result and all these things. So better not to do anything. So I won't do anything. So that is akarma. So just by saying to yourself, I'm not going to do anything, does not equate to nishkama karma. So he's given it very clearly that just by avoiding engaging yourself with the world, you just don't attain the maturity to lead to moksha. It doesn't work like that. What does it mean in effect? It means that you have no choice but to conduct yourself in this world, full stop. So it's nicely kind of reminding Arjuna that if you think waging a war is unnecessarily going to yield a result, I'm the one who is actually going to throw the arrows, and therefore, why do all this nonsense? I'm going to stop myself not doing it. You won't. That is not sannyasa, neither is it nishkama karma. You're only going to be able to practice those nishkama karma and sannyasa when you are able to throw the arrow and say to yourself, I'm not the one who is actually the reason why this war is being waged. I'm just part of it. I'm an instrument through which I'm having to conduct. I'm an instrument to being part of this entire exercise. And the arrow, whatever it does the job, and my job is to skillfully release the arrows. And when I skillfully release the arrows, what happens at the end is not in my hands. The result is not me. Result is not me, neither result mine. So you actually have to conduct yourself, which means you are conducting yourself impassionately, giving 100% of your commitment to your skill that you are supposed to demonstrate. Similarly, you are over there, you are neither worried about victory or loss, neither are you worried about you are not attaching your sense organs to what is happening there. You are not worried about people crying there in pain or rejoicing because they have shot down one person. You are not going to be perturbed or excited by any of that. And how are you going to do it? You are actually kind of utilizing a restraint on your sense organs and your mind in such a way that you are able to exhibit the sannyasa part. So basically, you have to conduct yourself. There is no escape for you, is what it means. Then nahi kaschit kshanamapi jatu tishtatya karma krita karyate hyavashah karma sarvah prakriti jair gunaihi. Okay, obviously we need to just look at the essence of these shlokas because we have already covered them last week. See, for any person, a second does not go past without being busy conducting an action. And the action can be either through the manasa, vacha, karmana. It could be through mind, it could be through body, it could be through words as well. So therefore, it is better to do something rather than not do anything. And it is but natural, is what he says. Karmendriyani संयम्य यास्ते मनसा स्मरन् indriyarthan vimodhatma mityachara sa uchyate. But then a person may think to himself, okay, what I can do now is I will control all my sense organs, restrain them, and that is the best I can do. But he's still having all the desires in his mind. And he thinks that doing that itself is sannyasa. So he says that is not the case. That is only half the job, or it is fooling yourself. So if you're actually doing sannyasa, you have to do it with your mind as well. Your mind also needs to let go of the desires. Yastvindriyani manasa niyamyarabhate arjuna karmendriyai karma yogam asaktas savisishyate. So that is a karma yogi, the one who has mastered the art of karma yoga, the one who, having restrained his mind, is using it to restrain the organs, sense organs. And once he has done that, he is utilizing the same sense organs which are now nicely restrained in initiating action. And that person is an expert in karma yoga. Niyatam kuru karmatvam karmajyayo hya karmanaha sharira yatra pichate na prasiddhyet akarmanaha. Do understand that whatever actions you may think of not doing at all, for instance, if that was to be the case and everyone wants to do that, what about the bodily, natural, automatic actions that need to happen? Your bowel activity, your eating, and your procreational activity, your activity to go and find food, work, raise your family, work in society. All those become very automatic, even if some of them are social. Biologically, there are so many activities that a body has to take up. How can they not be performed if you practice akarma? So it doesn't work like that. So one do understand that. Therefore, doing action is better than not doing action. Yajñarthat karmanonyatra lokoyam karmavandanaha tadartham karma kaunteya muktasangas samachara. Yajñarthat karmanaha. So there are two sets of actions one can think about. One, which are excelling in your actions, which are going to give you welfare and to the world. And those, if when conducted in a very sincere, steadfast manner, can be called as a yajna. So yajnarthat karmanaha. So there are some duties which are of that category. Then there is another category which are mundane, material driven activities you may get sucked into, and they become karma bandhana. They bind you to the world. There are two types of them. Tadartham, he kaunteya, mukta sangaha karma samachara. So therefore, he kaunteya, or Arjuna, absolve yourself, detach yourself and skillfully practice the actions. Saha yajñah praja srishtva purovacha prajapatihi anena prasavishyadhvam esha vo stvishta kamadhuku. And then he says that, look, Prajapati Brahma, who was playing a key role in the creation of mankind, he, at the very beginning, when he actually created the humans, also along with them, created the concept of yajna. So the saha yajna praja, so they go along with each other. Now, what you have to do, and he then said to them that Yoyam anena prasavishyadvam. With these yajnas, you conduct the worldly responsibilities through which you will be taken care of as well. You will also be able to kind of utilize those for ishtakamaduk, for things you can desire. Obviously, we were talking about the same thing last week. Isn't it a contradiction? On one side, we are not expected to have a desire, and then we want to have desires and request gods to release us certain things. So here, these are very much required things. For instance, the rains, the sunshine, the crops. So all these things are very much required for sustenance of the world. So that's okay. Those desires are not necessarily desires. So this is where we stopped last week. Devan bhavayatanena te deva bhavayantu vaha parasparam bhavayantaha shreyah paramavapsyata. Now, not only has Brahma created the yajnas along with Praja, or the humans, he's also created the devatas. And these are the celestial beings. We're going to look at the Pada Vibhaga. Devan bhavayata anena te devaha bhavayantu vaha parasparam bhavayantaha shreyah param avapsyatha. So, as I said, we have devatas here and the manavas as well. So Prajapati Brahma is still talking. he says, Yum or Vaha Yum, you all, Bhavayantaha, Bhavayata, Anena, through these yajnas, Anena, through these yajnas, Bhavayata, you take care of the Devan, Devatas. You take care of them or you please them. You please them, you nourish them through your yajnas. So the yajnas are actually nourishing. They are almost like they're offering, they're the food for devatas. It's not just anything else. It is food actually. What do they do then? Te devaha yoyam bhavayantu. Let the devatas take care of you as well. Parasparam, symbiotically, bhavayantaha, you both are, pleasing each other, nourishing each other, taking care of each other. By doing so, shreyaha param avapsyatha. You will be reaching the eternal abode or the moksha sthana. So one may ask a question, how many ways can you actually attain moksha? There are so many ways. It doesn't have to be only one way. It could be through jnana, knowing that I am the Atman and constantly contemplating on that. It could be through love, samadrishti, seeing everyone the same and loving everything the same as me. It could be through karma yoga, through doing, following duties skillfully. It could be through yajna. Here you can say, in a way, ritualistically practicing, conducting yourself in a way that whatever you're offering to the devatas and expecting the welfare of the world. So it is a very selfless way of practicing yourself. So there are so many different ways of attaining moksha. There are even some other shlokas which would say forgiveness, kshama itself, titiksha, that itself will give you moksha. So we should take that seriously because we all have different temperaments. We are good at one thing or the other. Not all of us necessarily have to do only bhakti. Not all of us necessarily have to do only jnana. And similarly, even among various things, some may be very good at forgiving others. Some may be very good at skillfully doing actions without expecting any results. It is up to us, our temperament, to choose. Now, having explained that you both have to be interdependent in a symbiotic way, he is now giving a warning, which is Ishtan bhogan hivo devaha dasyante yajna bhavitaha tairdattana pradayebhyaha yo bhunkte stena eva saha. Ishtan bhogan hi vaha devaha dasyante yajna bhavitaha taihi dattan apradhayebhyaha yo yaha bhunkte stena eva saha. Right. So dasyante is the verb, one of the verbs here. Bhunkte is another verb. Dasyante is in plural, bahuvachanam. Means giving, will give. Who will give? Devaha. Devaha dasyante. What kind of devas are these? Yajna bhavitaha, those who are recipients of your yajna. So yajna bhavitaha devaha dasyante. Now, yajna bhavitaha devaha dasyante. What do they give? They give ishtan bhogan. So yajna bhavitaha devaha ishtan bhogan hi vaha dasyante. Yuyam dasyante. Yushman is what it means. Yushman dasyante. So to you, they give, the devatas actually give you the things that you are you desire. Okay. Already the process is established because you are already doing yajna. You're doing yajna, they're giving you. They're giving you, you're doing yajna. So it goes hand in hand in a symbiotic way. Very simple explanation. For instance, if we keep, let us say, for instance, polluting the river waters. How do you expect devatas, or even say, let's say, Nadi Devata, Parvata Devata, the mountain deities, or the Nadi deities? How do you expect them to take care of our health if we pollute the water? We are not taking care of them. They are not in a position to take care of us. It's like that. Similarly, Parvata Devatas. Let us say, for instance, we are indiscriminately mining the resources, and we are not even paying respect to them. Let us say it doesn't work. So it's that. The next line explains the same thing. Taihi dattan apradayaibhyah yaha bhunkte stena eva saha. Bhunkte is consuming. Yaha bhunkte, the one who consumes, having received everything. Taihi dattan, taihi, given by the devatas. Dattan, that which is given. Apradayebhyaha. So, the ones who have given those are the devatas, and if we are actually consuming them, and then we are not giving anything in return to them, apradayebhyaha, then we are equated to being thieves, sthena. So that person is a thief because it's a one-directional transaction. He is receiving, but he is not paying any respect, neither is he completing the cycle, the symbiotic cycle. So this is an important lesson for us. Yajnashishtashinas santaha muchyante sarva kilvishaihi bhunjate te tvagham papaha ye pachantyatma karanat. Yajnashishtashinas santaha muchyante sarva kilvishaihi bhunjate te tu agham papaha ye pachanti atma karanat. So we have three verbs here: muchyante, bhunjate, then pachanti. Muchyante is being able to let go or escape. Muchyante. Who? Santaha. The saints are able to let go or escape. Sarva kilbishaihi. all the possible sins. They're able to let go, or they're able to wash off. And what kind of saints are these? Yajnashishtasinaha. In that word itself is included what kind they are. They are the ones who are providing the yajna or conducting the yajna to the devatas, and only after that are they consuming anything. So they are not forgetting. What it means is they are not forgetting their offering to the deities or the various gods. Whatever they are doing, whatever action they are doing, whatever ritual they are doing, whatever they are thinking, they always have the deities or the gods in their mind before they consume anything, or they enjoy the fruit of that action. So those are the saints, santaha. But on the other hand, agham papaha, ye papaha, those sinful people, pachanti, cook, atmakaranat, all for themselves. They want to consume it all by themselves. And they eat by themselves. They consume all by themselves. So these are the thieves that he is referring to. On one side, you have those who are saintly, who are able to understand and sincerely practice the symbiotic relation, whereas you have those who are deliberately or ignorantly, selfishly driven and only looking at personal consumption, exploitation of resources, and not really paying respect to the deities or the gods. And now he explains the cycle, the sustenance. Annad bhavanti bhutani parjanyadanna sambhavaha yajnad bhavati parjanyaha yajnah karma samudbhavaha. Next one also. Karma brahmodbhavam vidhi brahmakshara samudbhavam tasmat sarvagatam brahma nityam yajne pratishthitam. So this is the cycle. Let us call it the food cycle or the ecosystem cycle. Ecosystem, we all have read, I'm sure, in schools and wherever. Annat bhavanti bhutani. The pranis, the creatures, they are born from food. So to say, only if there is food does a creature exist or come into existence. Because how can a creature exist if there is no food? And that food includes oxygen, water, minerals, everything, right? So therefore, first, food has to be provided for the pranis, the creatures, to be coming into existence. Annat bhavanti bhutani. Parjanyat anna sambhavaha. Only through rains can food be possible, is what it is saying. So therefore, water is required. Water, like rains, give rise to food. Then food gives rise to the creatures, the pranis. Rains, right? Yajnat bhavati parjanyaha yajnat bhavati. Parjanya, the rains, do take place because of actions which are yajna. Only through our sincere actions for the welfare of the world, the Loka Kalyanartham, that whatever we do as actions sincerely, those actions are the yajnas, and devatas are pleased with that and will obviously provide abundant rainfall. Yajnaha karma samudbhavaha, and that yajna is only possible through us conducting actions. It can explain two things here. Not conducting any action is therefore not going to help the cycle. And similarly, that kind of action which can lead to the yajna bhava, not every action, an action of me kind of indulging my own senses for my own sensory gratification, that is not what we are going to consider as karma or the action. Only that which is selflessly done and is for the loka kalyanartham is to be considered as karma here. That leads to the yajna. That is the yajna. So the cycle, where did it start and where did it end? It's obviously a cycle. There's no beginning, no end to it. So when we say that the creatures are only born when there is food, but food can only be possible if there is rain. Rains are possible because of the yajna, but yajnas are being done by the humans themselves who are actually conducting the karma. So that cycle is explained here. Karma brahmodbhavam vidhi. No, but what kind of karma? The karma that Shastras like Vedas, which are equivalent to the Parabrahma. Whatever is declared through the Shastras or declared by Brahma or Brahman, that is karma. Not everything is karma. Only that which is designated to be conducted as action by the divine principles is to be considered as karma. That will lead to yajna. So karma brahma udbhavam vidhi. Please know, brahmakshara samudbhavam. And this Veda or the scriptural principles that have enlisted what action is actually, or karma is. Where does that Veda come from? It comes from the Akshara Samudbhava. Akshara is the Parabrahma. But Parabrahman is the one who has no mortality, immortal, Akshara, ageless. Tasmat Sarvagatam Brahma. So by now understand that therefore everything enters the Brahman, everything is going to be going into the Brahma, and hence Nityam Yajne Pratishthitam. Tasmat Sarvagatam Nityam Pratishthitam Yajne Pratishthitam. So therefore, everything that is being conducted has to be done like a yajna, because the cycle is only kind of to be understood that you will enter into that cycle. You are inevitably there in the cycle anyway. But if you want to really enter into that beautiful cycle of sustaining this world for everyone's welfare. And who is that everyone? Devatas included, grahas, the planets included, the resources included, humans included, all creatures included. And once you enter into that cycle beautifully, everything goes nicely. Rains happen in time, food is abundant, creatures are happy. Then humans are happy, humans are conducting their actions. That is considered as yajna, and then resulting in rain and so on. It goes on and on and on. And who is that actually? That where does who sanctioned those particular actions? It is the Vedic scriptures. And where does Veda come from? It comes from the Paramatma, and therefore everything is but property of Brahma, Parabrahma, and everything therefore goes to him. So whatever you do ultimately goes to the Brahman through the Devatas is another way we can understand. So when we do a puja, when we do a yajna, we are offering those to the yajna Devatas, but through them it is to the Parabrahman. All right. एवं प्रवर्तितं चक्रं नानुवर्तयति हयः अघायुरिन्द्रिया रामः मोघं पार्थ स जीवति एवं प्रवर्तितं चक्रं न अनुवर्तयति इह यः अघायुः इंद्रिया रामः मोघं पार्थ सह जीवति. Again, what are the verbs here? Anuvartayati is one kriya padam. Jivati is another kriya padam. Anuvartayati, na anuvartayati. The one who does not follow, not following, na anuvartayati. Who yaha, the one, yaha na anuvartayati. The one who does not follow it. Where iha, in this life, in this planet. What does he not follow? Chakram. What kind of chakram? Evam pravartitam chakram. The chakram, the cycle that goes in this fashion. The one who does not follow it, okay, he is nobody but aghayuhu, indriyaramaha. He is indulgent in action of the indriyas. Let us just see what aghayu means here. Aghayu. Yeah, so aghayu basically is a sinner, a sinful person. Aghayuhu indriyaramaha, one who is indulgent in his sense organs. Saha mogham partha jivati. So he is just existing, that's it. Just existing, merely existing. His life is of no use. Because he is not participating in the cycle. He is the thief who is actually using his resources and not contributing. Okay, so it's again a warning. Yastvat maratireva syat atmatruptascha manavaha atmanyeva cha santushtaha tasya karyam na vidyate. Yahatu atmaratihi eva syat atmatruptaha cha manavaha atmani eva cha santushtaha tasya karyam na vidyate. Na vidyate. Vidyate means being present. Na vidyate, absent. Na vidyate, what is absent? Karyam na vidyate. Action, there is no action that is present. How come there is no action? Doing action as if you are not indulging in it. is not doing action. An action which does not lead to an unnecessary imprint is the kind of action. It is like, for instance, somebody says to you, please stay quiet in this library so that nobody gets disturbed. So what are you supposed to do in a library? You have to sit there quietly, read and leave. Nobody even noticed that you were there. But if in the same library you are making a lot of sounds, it is disturbing everything around. So that action is present. So the very idea that, oh, this guy came to the library has been marked, imprinted. But the same guy who had come to the library, maintained pin drop silence, left, nobody even knew that he came. An action was done, but not done. It was not done because nobody had witnessed it. But it was done. So it's like that. Karyam na vidyate. Karyam na vidyate. Whose karyam na vidyate? Tasya karyam na vidyate. Of that person. Of that person. Who is that person? The one who is santushtaha. The one who is content. What is he content in? Atmani evacha santushtaha. He is content within himself. He is content within himself. Who is this santushtaha? Manavaha. Manavaha. Yahato yastvatmarati. Yahato atmaratihi eva. He is actually rejoicing in himself. Atmaratihi. He is rejoicing in himself. Atmatruptaha. Atmatruptaha is the one who is content. Atmani evacha santushtaha. He is happy. So he is able to entertain himself. He is not looking for entertainment outside through the sense organs. He is able to entertain himself within. He is able to stay content within. He is not looking for sources of happiness outside. He is able to stay happy within. If that is the kind of a person that he is, for him, there isn't anything called work. Action is being done, but he is not leaving any imprint. So the entire sentence goes this way. Yaha tu atmaratihi eva syat. Yaha atmatruptaha cha syat. Saha manavaha. Saha yaha atmani eva cha santushtaha syat. Tasya karyam na vidyate. Okay. Naiva tasya krite narthaha na krite neha kaschana na chasya sarva bhuteshu kaschitartavyapashrayah. Na eva tasya kritena arthaha na kritena iha kaschana na cha asya sarva bhuteshu kaschit arthavyapashrayah. So for that kind of a person who has been explained earlier, na eva tasya kritena artaha. So there isn't any work that leads to any result, or it is not a result oriented action for him anymore. Na eva tasya kritena artaha. The action that has been done by him of his action, his action, whatever, is not result oriented. Na kritena iha kaschana. It is not being done for somebody else's sake. Nacha asya sarvabhuteshu kaschit arthavyapashrayah. So his actions are not as if they are transactional in this society among various people, creatures. So they are being skillfully done as if there is no result attached to it. Neither is it being done for the sake of somebody. Neither is it being done in a transactional fashion. Okay. Tasmadasaktas satatam karyam karma samachara asakto hyacharan karma paramapnoti purushaha. Tasmat asaktaha satatam karyam karma samachara asaktaha hi acharan karma param apnoti purushaha. Apnoti is the verb here. Apnoti is to obtain. Kaha apnoti, purushaha apnoti. Who gets it? Who obtains? Purushaha, the one who is kind of skillful, that yogi. What does he obtain? Kim apnoti, param apnoti. Purushaha param apnoti. He obtains moksha. Asakta hi acharan karma. Acharan karma. Asaktaha hi acharan karma. What kind of a purusha is he? What kind of a skillful person is he? He is a asaktaha. He is not at all kind of indulgent in actions. He is not attached to the actions. Acharan. And his acharan is present continuous. The one who is conducting himself in this world as if he is detached. So the total sentence goes like this. Asaktaha hi acharan purushaha. Asaktaha hi karma acharan purushaha param apnoti. The one who is skillfully detached and is conducting these actions, attains moksha. And the last sentence above that is Tasmat asaktaha satatam karyam karma samachara. Therefore, asaktaha, being detached, be detached, karma samachara. Samachara is the verb. Conduct yourself. Tvam karyam tvam samachara. You conduct actions skillfully. Tvam karma samachara. Satatam karyam. So all those actions that have to be done, do them in a detached, skillful manner. And that kind of a person who is detached and skillfully executing these actions will obtain moksha. One more sloka before we end for today. Karmanaiva hi samsiddhim asthita janakadayah loka sangrahamevapi sampashyan kartum arhasi. Karmani eva hi samsiddhim आस्थिता जनकादयः लोकसंग्रहम् एव अपि संपश्यन् कर्तुम् अर्हसि. Arhasi is the verb. Arhasi means eligible. You are eligible. is what it actually means. Tvam arahasi. We need to add tvam here. Tvam arahasi. What will you be eligible to do? Kartum arhasi. Tvam kartum arhasi. You will be able to do something here. What is that? Sampashyan kartum arhasi. Tvam sampashyan. You are able to see things the same. We'll see what it is. Loka sangraham eva api sampashyan kartum arhasi. Again, we have to go up a bit more. Karmani eva hi samsiddhim astitaha janakadayaha. So he's now actually giving references to some well-known people from the past. Well-known people who have been practicing it skillfully. Example is Janaka Maharshi, Janaka Maharaja, Janaka. Janakadayaha. So somebody like Janaka who had been a karma yogi. And like him, there were several others. They practiced astitaha janakadayaha karmani eva hi samsiddhim. Janakadayaha karmani eva samsiddhim astitaha. So they have, people like Janaka and all, have mastered the art of conducting actions in a way that it can be called as Nishkama Karma. So Loka Sangraham eva api, doing actions for the welfare of, Sloka Sangraham means welfare of the world. Welfare of the world. Loka Sangraham eva api sampashyan. So making sure that the welfare of the world is taken care of. Tvam kartum arhasi. You also, just like them, you would also be able to conduct yourself for the welfare of the world, and you will be eligible to do so, is what he referred to as examples to be followed. We'll close here for today. Om sarve bhavantu sukhinaha, sarve santu niramayaha, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, akaschit abhag bhavet. Om shanti shanti shanti.